Let's talk about Littlest Pet Shop. Now, I can't really talk about this show without talking about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, since it has so many connections with it. It's one of DHX Media's productions, it has some of the same writers, it has a lot of the same voice cast. The only major difference is who the show was developed by, and that was Tim and Julie Cahill, or however you pronounce that. They also created My Gym Partner's a Monkey, which I think is a pretty underrated and misunderstood show. And that pretty much sums up what this show is. Underrated and misunderstood. Though it might turn off people sometimes for the ridiculous things that happen in it. The show focuses on Blythe, a teenager who moves into an apartment with her dad above a pet shop called Littlest Pet Shop, which is owned by Mrs. Twombly, who allows Blythe to work there with her. And for some indiscernible reason, after a little accident that happens in the first episode, Blythe can now talk to animals. So she's kind of like Eliza Thornberry, but in a city. And for some reason, she can't tell people because they never explain. At least the Wild Thornberries had a reason why she couldn't tell anybody. But no, in this show, Blythe doesn't tell anybody because people will think she's insane, maybe? Like I said, they never really explain it. Other than Blythe, there are the pets, who I will now order in my favorite to least favorite. Sunil, a mongoose who does magic tricks, Pepper Clark the skunk who is a comedian, Russell the hedgehog who has management skills, Zoe Trent the dog who's a singer and model, Minka the monkey who's an artist, Penny Ling the panda who's a ribbon dancer, and then finally Vinny Terrio who's also a dancer. Also, he's the worst. Nobody likes Vinny. I tell you there's special talents because that's really all the show focuses on most of the time. And that makes the show feel very repetitive. They do sometimes focus on their character traits, but not a lot. Most of the time, they're actually focusing on Blythe and her fashion passion. And it feels like the pets are just there to wear her outfits. The show can be fun some of the time, and it does have some excellent songs. And with Season 2, they did try to have a little bit of continuity. It had a lot of episodes focusing around the Pet Expo, which was the finale. It had Blythe travel to Shanghai, Rio, and Paris, and there was one episode that entirely focused on Blythe trying to get a kiosk for the expo. In the finale, they finally get to the expo, and one of the conflicts is so stupid. She needs to choose one of the pets for a photo shoot, and instead of hurting everybody's feelings by picking favorites, she puts every pet's name into a hat, and then pulls one out. And she pulls out Russell's name every single time she tries it. Even though Russell doesn't want to be in the show. Why don't you just take out Russell's name? It's that simple! But they're like, no, the hat chose Russell. But Russell doesn't want to do it! Just let Zoe do it! She's the one who's most interested! The conflict was just really, really dumb. A couple of other things to mention about the show is Blythe's dad and the Biscuit twins. Blythe's dad looks like Mitt Romney, and that's really all you need to know. He does some pretty insane things, and just thinking that that's Mitt Romney is really hilarious. The Biscuit twins are sometimes fun, sometimes just annoying. Their butler is great though. And that's really all I have to say about the show. It can be fun sometimes, but most of the time it's kind of confusing and a little bit boring. If you watch Littlest Pet Shop, let me know in the comments and tell me what you think. See you next time. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it. And subscribe for videos that I upload every week.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to take it.